Blackstone Audio presents The Fight for Jerusalem by Dore Gold, former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations. To my sisters Paula and Debbie, whom I miss every day. Introduction. The Battle for Historical Truth. Jerusalem was almost lost in July 2000, when the future of its ancient old city was first put on the negotiating table. President Bill Clinton convened what would become a 15-day marathon summit at Camp David to fully resolve once and for all the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israelis and Palestinians were sealed off in the presidential retreat in Maryland and pressured to hammer out a final agreement. The whole event was a political long shot. Relations between the leaders, Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and PLO Chairman Yasser Arafat, were close to hostile, and the pre-summit preparation was poor. Nevertheless, Barak agreed to a stunning proposal. Israel would cede to the Palestinians sovereignty over most of East Jerusalem's suburbs, sovereignty over the old city's Muslim and Christian quarters, and custodianship over Judaism's holiest site, the Temple Mount. Since the Israel Defense Forces had captured Jerusalem's old city in the Six-Day War in June 1967, no Israeli Prime Minister had proposed redividing the city. Now it was happening. Barak's willingness to partition the old city was especially astounding, as this was the spiritual heart of Israel's capital. A walled enclave located just inside the former border designating the eastern half of the city, the old city occupies just over half a square mile and is divided into Jewish, Muslim, Christian and Armenian quarters. It is home to some of the holiest sites of the world's three major Abrahamic religions. The Temple Mount is the most sensitive location. A hilltop platform complex, the 35-acre Temple Mount, is the former location of the biblical First Temple, the Temple of Solomon, which stood from the 10th century BCE, before the Common Era, until its destruction by the Babylonians in 586 BCE. The second temple was constructed on the same site and stood from 515 BCE until the Romans demolished it in 70 CE, the Common Era. The Temple Mount is now largely off-limits for organized Jewish prayer, which instead is conducted at the Western Wall, a retaining wall from the Second Temple located adjacent to and just below the Temple Mount. The Temple Mount is also the third holiest site to Muslims, who refer to it as Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?